Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good night, good morning, good day, wherever you are in the world. We love having you here. We love seeing you. We love seeing your beautiful faces. It's been a while now. We've been doing these advanced trainings every Thursday, and I'm actually truly enjoying it. And I'm actually meeting more and more of you, getting to know you better, which is something that sparks my heart. I really love doing this. I think I said really many times now. So, um, let's start tonight and just dive in. So before we dive into the aura scans, we are doing physical session. So we're literally scanning someone. And unfortunately, last week, if you've been here, the person that actually won this did not respond. So I've asked my beautiful friend, Uma, to join me tonight. And before we do the scan, and I'll introduce Uma as well, I would love to introduce someone that's close to my heart and has been a blessing in my life and a complete soulmate, literally. She is my upline, but we are building and creating the business together. And when we met, it was just this spark, like we knew each other. Yeah. So, and ever since we've been connected, and I love her. I love her heart, and I love what she does. And she used to be a complete army brat, complete different direction, different world. We all know what army is, right? It's quite close-minded in the spiritual sense. And then she went through her own transformation and become a beautiful butterfly that I love today dearly. And her name is Kate. I know I still like calling you Katie, but let's say Kate Chisholm. And she is amazing at supporting first responders, veteran community, and anyone literally to connect back to the body, to get some insights. And she's amazing at chakras and aura scans and everything. And she is such a beautiful insight into this and such a beautiful gift. So without further ado, I'm gonna head this to the floor, the screen, to my beautiful friend Kate Chisholm. And before we scan and go there, I just want to introduce my beautiful friend Uma. And we've been friends for 3 years, and I love her dearly. And just so everybody knows how this thing is important, 3 years ago, I met her in my own training. Well, there were actually online circles, and she didn't even want to turn on the camera. Yeah. So today, her coming up and turning on the camera and actually have a live scan of aura, it's a huge transformation. And I have been seeing her transforming the last 3 years immensely. And I can't be more honored to be on this path with her and seeing her thrive. So she is a testament of what shifting the energy can do in your life, honestly. So without further ado, I'm going to give my microphone to Katie, and then she's going to connect to Uma to actually scan everything. Please, Katie.
Thank you so much, Petra. Oh my goodness, how about those intros? So as Petra said, my favorite thing, all-time thing is chakras and helping people to understand how energy works within the body. So obviously the meridians are the channels that help the energy to flow to the energy centers, which are our chakras. Now, I know Petra did a beautiful training last week on the aura and the chakras. So I would love, if anyone has any specific questions they'd like answered tonight, to please be dropped into the chat, because I love questions. No question is a silly question. I'm sure if you're thinking it's someone else's as well. So please do ask me, because I love this stuff. I could literally talk all day about chakras, aura analysis, and chakra scan. So at both Australian Healy conferences, I presented around this and taught people the intimate sort of process that it is. So always my first point of advice before we even get into any live scans is, if you're wanting to improve or grow your knowledge around the aura analysis and chakra scans, say for other people, please don't even go there yet until you have done it intimately for yourself. So the way that you get good at this is by scanning yourself and learning what each of these things are. So at the end of this, Petra and I will talk into a beautiful cheat sheet that we've designed that goes into all the different things. So, sometimes when you get your report up and you're like, so much information, and you go into a little bit of overwhelm. So what we will teach you tonight, or what we can show you together, is there's only really 2 areas that you need to look at when you're looking at the report that comes up, and that is present state description, because that's your present state, and Petra will probably talk more into that as your present state energy, and then just desired state, so the state that you want to move into. All the rest is only great if you want to go even deeper. If you're like, excellent, I love that, tell me more. Like, is it karmic? Is it ancestral? How relevant is it? How hard is it going to be to shift? So there's so much information you can extrapolate from these fantastic reports Healy puts together. But really, if you're just wanting to do the bare basics of it, you only need present state description and desired state description. So please, if anyone's got any comments or questions around that, please do ask. But also, I want in the comments, what do you love about the aura analysis and chakra scan function of Healy? What do you love about it? How often are you using it? Are you someone that sort of does the scan and then you're like, oh, what does it all mean? Or are you someone that just loves it like me and you're like, tell me more? And on the old app, when you could select more than one chakra, I'd just select them all, give it all to me. And also go into the negative relevancies, because I want to know what's going on in my subconscious. But if you're someone that likes limited information and just the bare basics of what you need to do in order to balance your chakra system, then just choose one. Just choose one, just learn about one, and then balance that one. So yes, Healy's wonderful because it only goes into the main 7. I mean, we've got so many chakras in the body, but the main 7 are the ones that we really need to focus on. So Petra, just off what I've already shared, is there anything else you want to add to that, or anything in particular that you wanted me to share with everyone before we get into some live training?
No, let's just do that, and then let's see what questions come up at the end. We always do questions at the end, and there's always questions, so we can then, go deeper into that. But yeah, overall, let's do step by step and then go deeper into the readings as well. That's what I think it would be good for everyone.
Love it. Okay, thank you very much. So thank you, Uma. You're amazing. I am going to share my screen, and we are going to do a live. Let me find the right screen so you're not looking at my 1,000 tabs that are open. Can everyone see the beautiful Uma's face on my screen? So this is obviously in the new Blue Dot app. If your app screen does not look like this, go into your app store and make sure you've got the right one. We're going to go into Aura today, and we are going to search for the Healy. How cool is it? You can scan on your Mag Healy now. Whew. Loving that. All right. So the first thing that comes up now on this new app, which is absolutely fantastic, is it will give you an overview. So that very first one, that total energy there, I've been told by many people, even Dr. Chen, that is your overall kundalini, your spiraling energy. So the kundalini sort of sits and is activated in the sacral chakra, and then it spirals up through the body. So that's what that overall column is. It's not an overall summary of what's going on in the other columns, which I always thought it was, because sometimes, some of them will appear higher, but then that one's really low and you're like, what's actually going on there? So if anyone's got any information different to that, please drop it into the comments. So here for Uma, if we're looking at it, the percentages are shown, which is really great. It shows 95% in the crown. So they're all your percentages of how balanced that particular chakra is right now. So well done, Uma. There's a throat chakra there is a little bit low. And these here on Healy on the new app show, it says chaos, which sometimes that's a bit hectic. When you see that word and you're like, oh my God, my chakra's in chaos. What does that mean? You can actually click on that word and it will go into a bit more of an explanation around that for you. And I'll let Petra talk about what that means, because she's a lot better at describing that than me. But you can actually click right on your screen and it will give you some verbiage around that. You can also click on, yeah.
Sorry, do you want me to add on this a bit now while we're here?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. So, yes, I would like to, as Kate said, right? As I always say in the trainings, take this with grain of salt. Yeah, so don't take it personally. Don't personalize it as you, more as the energy that you are surrounded with that you might not be aware of. Yeah, so that doesn't mean that you're a bad person or something's wrong with you or whatever. Shifting perceptions of how we look at things as an observer it will give us power. Yeah, so chaotic energy just means that the chakra or the energy center is too open. Yes, so there's too much energy streaming through. So it's like a waterfall, right? After the rain, there's so much water, right? So it's streaming through that center. So it's actually expanding it too much. So you're not able to actually balance the stream of the energy moving through. Yeah. If it's rigor, means that it's quite rigid. So the center is a bit closed. Yeah. So there's not enough flow coming through. So you can have both, right? Because there's balance happening within the body. And as Kate will go into detail, one influences each other, right? They're not separately looking at it in colors and spectra of where they sit in the body, but they are actually moving through your body and influencing each other.
Awesome. There's also one that comes up I think it says low, doesn't it? So you can actually click into each chakra and get a little bit of an explanation around what that chakra is about. So if your chakra knowledge isn't there yet, you can learn more about yourself by clicking just where that little arrow is over to the right-hand side in each of those. What you can also do at this stage is you can go up to the top. There's 3 little dots on the right-hand side. You can export the PDF. When you export the PDF at this stage of the scan, it gives you intimate chakra knowledge of what's going on within your body. So it tells you information about each of the chakras that you can go into. See how it's showing there for our person that we're scanning. The third eye chakra is sitting in the middle, throat is low. So it might show you ways that you can balance. So Healy's been beautiful enough to gift us with some different ways to balance out those particular chakras. So that is there if you want to deepen your awareness around the chakras, which I think is fantastic. So thank you, Healy. If we're wanting to now, that's given us an overview of just brief overview, 7 main chakras and a totals. Then what we can do, Petra wants to talk a little bit more, is we can go further into analysis. So it's picked up the 3 ones that are coming up as lowest are heart, throat, and third eye.
Honey, can I just add on this one before you go into the analysis? At the 3 dots at the top, can you click on that one? You have info. So if you go into info, it actually describes every single chakra, and you can actually go and learn about the basics. And what I've realized is that when you scan your chakras, it actually gives you a description of depending on where your chakra is, middle, low, high, and it will actually give you suggestions of how to balance it. This is actually the basics of the chakra, so you can actually understand it in depth.
So good. Thank you, Healy. Now that beautiful information that they've given us has been from us saying, we love the aura scan, but we need to know more about the chakras. So again, Healy gifts us with this beautiful option to do that. So thank you. Now we are going to go into the next phase, which is we click on continue. We hold the focus. So this is that intention. So if you've done previous trainings with Petra, you know intention is everything. So because I'm doing this remotely for Uma, what I do is I picture her face, I think of her voice, and I say her name, and I hold the intention strong that all the information that's going to come through for her on this scan is going to be for her best and highest good and relevant as well. So holding that intention as we scan. Remember the old app used to have the button you could put your finger on when you were doing scans? That was to hold the intention, but now we just hold it ourselves. I love this imagery they've added too, so that when it's doing the scan, it's actually showing you which of the chakras it's scanning into. Awesome. All right, so again, the top 3 buttons, it's the top 3 dots at the top. If you were to click on them, You can export the PDF now, and it will be different to the one that you had before, because the other one was just chakra knowledge. This one here is going to be this further exploration, so the further analysis. If you're doing scans for other people and your chakra knowledge isn't where you want it to be, I don't feel like, it's totally up to you, but I don't feel like going to this next stage and sort of scanning right into the intimacies of people's energy may be probably the best thing to do. You might just want to export that report from the very first slide, which is going to give them a brief overview of what's going on within the 7 main energy centers, as well as some basic chakra balancing knowledge that they can take away with them and go, wow, Healy's amazing. If they are open and ready and you've had the conversation, then I would go to this further, deeper analysis and speak into it with them. Only do that if you know about this for yourself. And Petra, do you feel that's really important as well?
Definitely, because we know from first experiences how that can influence people, right? So have in mind that Healy scans, like we talked about last week, right? It scans 12 layers of the aura. So people are not aware of what's in the field. And if you actually start with something like this and it comes up, like today, for example, Katie will go like something that comes up that's ancestral, right? Or karmic. They don't even have awareness of that, right? It might not be up in high in their awareness. So we're actually just carrying them. So it's better to go baby steps and allow them to open up.
Absolutely. So before we get into the intricacies of what's come up in this scan, what some main points that I really want to point out when we're looking at this stage of the report is it's translated from German. So sometimes it's quite in your face, meaning quite full on for those that maybe need to have a softer approach in what's going on within their body. So if it says words like extortion or manipulation or, has had physical experiences with the father, things like that, you may not be at a point where you feel comfortable to say this with a client if you're doing it for someone else, or if you're reading it for yourself. Really important to go back to what Petra just shared, which is it's purely an awareness. It's just an awareness and a deeper knowing of what's going on within your chakras. You don't need to attach story to it or go, oh my gosh, I need to fix so much in my life straight away. Like, what do I need to do next type thing? Just use it for your awareness. Everyone good with that before I move on? Anything to add, Petra? I think even maybe in the chat, if you have had an instance where you've perhaps done an aura scan for someone and they just haven't been ready for it. Has that happened to you where you've read it? Yeah. Sometimes you have done one for you when you just haven't been ready for it. And you're like, no, Healy, I do not want to see this right now. All right. So let's look at this. All right. So if we scroll down and it's got, so it will bring up the 3 that were lower. So we've got here, I'll explain it from the top down. So this one's the 3rd eye chakra reading and the percentage there, 99%. So that one is how relevant it is within your life right now. So it's 99% relevant out of 100 in your life right now. So this one here, the 3, this is how difficult, actually, I think you can click on them. Yeah, how good's this? Healy, thank you again. You can actually click onto, see where it says 99%, and it's showing you. This is the priority and urgency of this in your life right now. You can also click on the little number 3 in this instance. This is the intensity. So these numbers are actually derived from homeopathic standards. So it goes into your subtle energy field and it uses, Petra could probably explain this a whole lot better than me, but it uses the subtle energy of the homeopathic readings to get this scale or this parameter to be able to show you how difficult it is going to be to actually move. So the intensity stands for the readiness of it to be moved. The higher the intensity, the more obvious the issue for the person being analyzed. So 3 is good. This one here is your potency, also homeopathic derived from it. So it's saying, it shows you what the different ones are. So D is like it says in the foreground here, but for me, D is like it's deeply in your body. Like it's an energy that, has lodged itself there and you're going to have to do a little bit of work with it. C it says here in a consequence. So C for me is an energetic charge not released. So say you've got a C energy in the throat, it might mean that you need to say something, or you need to hear something, or something needs to be discharged within that energy, is my interpretation of it. And LM there, it's saying a cause or a consequence. It's in the background. So for me, this is a belief system or a pattern that you have perhaps held on to or is stuck that you can shift. Does that make sense? Any questions, please pop them in the comments or hold on to that. But I love how Healy's added that in too, that you can click on it to understand it a little bit more. All right, present state. Remember back from what I was saying before, present state is just really all you need. It's going to give you what's going on within that reading right then. So let's have a look. From the spiritual consciousness, the person has realized that the spiritual path is different from relationship to relationship. The person clearly perceives the incompleteness and the lack of spirit. So this might mean something like, out there in the big wide world, you're running into lots of different people, and you can clearly perceive that some people are more open than others. And this is quite relevant maybe for Uma right now, because she really loves to hang out and have deep conversations with people. And, those that are perhaps a bit superficial or not even there yet, or maybe head stuck in the sand, she's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk about the weather. So that's probably, in my interpretation of this, what's happening. So present state description, what this does, the next part under it, is it actually tells you where that energy is coming from. So the forehead chakra is shining in the color turquoise. Now, turquoise is great because it means the energy is moving. We have a cheat sheet that we're going to show you at the end, which is going to show you what each of the different colors mean, and we'll explain it a whole lot better if you're a visual person. Okay, next one down. I actually love this one. And on the old app, it wasn't as clear, but on this app, it actually gives you desired state affirmations. So if I'm doing this for myself and it says, this is a great one, actually. I know the spiritual path goes beyond relationships and I am following it from my inner guidance. So this actually tells you what you need to do. And sometimes when you read these out to yourself or to a client, you're like, oh, goosebumps, because it's really relevant and it really resonates. So this here is wanting Uma to go, yeah, I've got these people in my life that perhaps, might, as I perceive, know more or be out there doing more than me, but it's okay because I'm just going to trust me and I'm going to trust my inner guidance and I'm going to follow my path. Does that make sense? So next one down. Petra?
Just do that one. Then I would like to ask Uma if that actually resonates with her, so we can actually.
Yeah. So this desired state description, I'm going to be really honest. I very rarely read it. I actually don't even. Like, you don't need it, but if you want to go that little bit further and find out a little bit more of the intricacies of present state and desired state, you can read it. It just gives you some more themes of it and maybe some deeper exploration as to where that energy is coming from. If the other two didn't resonate, you might go onto that one, have a read to see if it lands a bit better for you or if you're understanding it a bit better. Petra?
I agree. And I like that sometimes if you're at the beginning, start with small, yeah? But if you really want to dive deep, what I like to do is I look at the desired state as an affirmation. And then if I want to actually dig deeper into where this is really sitting, yeah, I go into the desired state description and I actually look at what's it's saying there. Of course, it's going to tell you the themes of the chakra, right? But I use my intuition to actually try to read the field, that's me, to actually sense where would that be sitting exactly within my field. So I start attracting, right, intention. I start attracting the information that is in my field into the physical mind to actually get memories or insights or things like that. So then, I set an intention and I literally start vibrating Healy, and then during the week, things come up for me. Yeah, so that's a deeper work. But if you're not there, that's okay. yeah, it will still work. It's just an awareness. If you just start with affirmations and you observe yourself throughout the day and you observe yourself throughout the week, you will be surprised how much you will get goosebumps, how much you will actually start observing of things that are coming up for you, that you can start transforming them.
How beautiful. What a great share. Also, like, you might hear a song drop in. If it's a bit of a throat chakra energy, sing that song, voice it. You might hear something you need to say to someone. One other thing before I ask Uma if this resonated is, as we can see up here, it says D, so it's D. It's a D, like deeply in the third eye, but it's a 1 E6, which is karmic. So this is something that Uma's here to experience here on life, on Earth School in this lifetime. Is this, seeing relationships for what they are, seeing people for their differing knowledge, and knowing, awesome, I'm glad you're all out there, but I'm here to do me, and I'm going to listen to my inner guidance. So Uma, in the chat, or even if you wanted to unmute, how was that first one for you?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's what we were talking, Petra. Yesterday I was talking Petra, and we were talking about, like, when I go with some moms, and we just talk weather and things, and it drains my energy. So, like how you just explained before, that I don't like to just talk about weather and things. I like to talk the deep topic, and
Me
that's
too.
exactly the point. Yeah, that's right. So there you go. So it resonates with me.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at the next one. So third eye again is coming up. So yin yang consciousness. I like it when it starts with these ones because it's about balance. The yin and the yang is about balance in life. So let's look at what it's saying further. Track back, 98% relevant. It's a 3, so it's not going to be that hard to shift. It's a C. So C, remember, emotional charge not released. So some third eye balancing activities could definitely shift this, meditation, dream journals, things like that. And yin yang consciousness. Due to a lack of individual consciousness, the person's mind is identifying with their father. So this is a really good one to get, because father or mother, if father or mother come up, it can mean several different things. So father to me means the masculine. Mother to me means the feminine. So this could be Uma's physical father. This could be Uma's partner. This could be Uma's son. So it can be a masculine within her life. It doesn't necessarily mean the physical father. Everyone got that? So feminine and masculine, father, mother. So you can interpret that also as the masculine within you. So we will ask Uma in a minute which is relevant. So let me keep going a little bit and then we'll ask. So due to the lack of individual consciousness, the person mind is identifying with the father. So if we think of the father as the masculine is yang. It's processes, systems, structures, all the doing, all the going, all the having to be doing all the things. So this is kind of saying the third eye is being a little bit blocked maybe, or there's an emotional charge not released because Uma's living in her masculine thought patterns and not perhaps having the balance of a bit of yin in there to create the spaciousness for anything else that needs to drop in. So let's read on a little bit further to see what else we can get out of it. So the forehead chakra is shining in the crown, color violet. So this is about Uma's connection to her higher self. If it's in the crown, it is a third eye chakra energy, but it's coming from the crown. So the information is probably stopping, maybe. Desired state affirmation. I am independent of my masculine or the father, perhaps a masculine within her life that might be blocking that for her, and living my own life based on my inner guidance. So there may be a masculine within the life that is sort of blocking that universal energy from, allowing Uma to deepen that for herself. How's that one, Uma?
Yeah, it's resonate with me, but I still want to understand more about it.
Mm-hmm.
More explanation. Yeah,
no
but
worries.
It's all right. You don't have to explain now.
Yeah. So you know what is actually really,
Yeah.
thank you. What is really, really great to know for yourself you can just sort of, I call, put a pin in it, right? If there's one that really you're like, oh, I need to know more about that, or I want to explore that a bit further, what you can do is, like Petra said, go down and read your desired state description. If there's still not anything in there that you're sort of getting a bit more out of, but it's an energy you really want to work with, you would grab that desired state description there and you would plonk it into a coaching scan as your intention. So we utilize that affirmation in a coaching scan as your intention, and you would run that. What that's going to show you is, okay, where are my energetic blocks in relation to this energy within my life? So it's a whole nother session, but just keep that in mind, that you can utilize that to then do a coaching scan to find out a bit more. Any more on that, Petra? Yep.
Yeah, I just want to add on this. If you click on the number 3 at the top, so you see how it says the higher the intensity, the more obvious the issue is for the person being analyzed, and the greater the willingness to take action. So this, to me, the way I see it, is the lower the number, the more in your subconscious. Yeah, so you are actually might not be aware of how this is actually presenting in your physical life. So it's coming up in the field because it's present in your field and it's influencing you, right? Because anything that's in our auric field, it's like vibrating into the physical life, right? So it's pushing the energies into the physical life, and it's attracting information and situations and people that are mirroring that to us. So the lower in subconscious, right? So the 10 will be the higher in conscious level, and the 1 will be completely in subconscious, right? So 3, it's somewhere you kind of sensed it somewhere in your physical life. It came up, but you don't actually understand where it's coming from. Yeah. So in this case, what I would say is, the more you vibrate this and set an intention, and you can use it in the coaching app as well if you would like to go further deeper, is and observe to actually see how is this energy showing up in my physical life. Because when we are actually pulling the energy out of the auric field and it's now manifesting into the physical life, that doesn't mean you're going to relive the trauma. Yeah. And that's what I love about Healy. It's literally just the frequency. It gives you a glimpse of something that's in the field, and you can sense it if you work with it. You can actually observe it in the physical life, and an issue comes up and you will feel it exactly connected to that feeling and to that pattern. And what is the most beautiful and the most empowering thing I really love is you can sense it like this. And when you sense it, you are empowered. You have an option to transform in that right moment, in that situation. You can choose a different path. And that's why this is so powerful. You don't have to relive the trauma. You can pull out the frequencies, you can observe them, you can sense them, you can feel them, and then you can choose a different emotion. You can choose a different action. And action, as we talked about in the previous sessions, action is shifting your frequency on a physical level. Feeling it is shifting your frequency on an emotional and mental level. Sensing it and using your intuition is actually pulling it and really starting to transform it on an energetic level. So you need to use all 3 in order to actually close the circle. But anything that's lower in numbers, you might not realize how it's actually presenting in your life. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That was an awesome explanation. All right. Third eye chakra. So 94% relevant 8. So it's a little bit higher in that spectrum that Petra was just talking into. LM is a belief system. So due to lack of mental awareness, the person is identifying with sexuality, thus reducing their mind. So sexuality is another one of those words like extortion and manipulation, and that sometimes can be like, what? But what it can actually mean is connection to your sacral, connection to your pleasure, to your creation, to your flow in life. For me, that's what I believe, and thus is reducing their mind. So forehead is shining in the root chakra. Root chakra, remember, is all about safety, security, survival, family, health, things like that. So it's a It's a third eye energy, but it's originating from the root chakra, is the information that gives us. Desired state. I am aware that I am an infinite soul in a body and I am living in my entire being. So this is inviting you to be connected with all that you are and not reducing yourself in any way, and just really stepping into that infinite power in order to awaken and ignite that third eye chakra, which is where this reading is coming from. So we don't just, when you're reading it, I'm really inviting people to not just be literally reading what's there, but really just exploring around for all the intricacies and all the information that Healy is gifting you through that particular reading. All right, let's look at throat chakra. So 91% relevant. It's a 4, so bit midline there. It's a C. Remember, C is like an emotional charge not released, so throat. The person has been hurt in their expression by the fact that in their childhood, they often experienced not being allowed to talk nor to otherwise express themselves. This is such a common one. You know, children will be seen and not heard, speak when spoken to. It's a blockage, you know, in that throat chakra. And if that's an emotional charge not released, like that's a massive invitation to speak, to be authentic, to speak your truth, to open up. But also it's about listening to yourself as well. Remember, Uma's had a lot of third eye readings come up as well. So listening to that intuition in order to let that channel through out of that throat chakra to be speaking her truth at that level. So let's look. It's throat chakra energy, but originating at the root, which makes sense if it's from childhood, right? Because it's all about family. It's all about being seen and heard and belonging. Let's go down to desired state. Oh, what an affirmation. Uma, write this down. You can stick this into coaching app. I express myself freely and let my feelings flow freely. So letting your feelings channel through, speaking into that when you need to. If you need to dive in deeper to it again, you can go to desired state description for yourself. All right, heart chakra. Anything on that, Petra? Are you good? Awesome. Heart chakra. Let's look at this one. 89%, 4, mid-range again. C, so an emotional charge not released within the heart chakra, so center of the rainbow bridge. The person is aware that they could give much more in their life. So we need to read on to find out a bit more about that, because that's a very general sort of statement, in my opinion. So the heart chakra is shining the color turquoise. Ooh, this is beautiful. So remember, turquoise, and you'll get it on your cheat sheets, is about an energy moving through. All right, so it's C again, emotional charge not released. So this means that Uma is opening up her heart to be able to give more in her life. And I feel as well, it's like giving more to herself as well. So let's read on. Desired state. I am freely living out my creative urge. Ooh, I like this one too. So creation, what are the divine qualities of the heart? Peace, love, joy, empathy, forgiveness, bliss, like love. There is so much creativity that can be manifested into the world through the heart, and the throat are the gateways to liberation, right? So this is a beautiful reading, Uma. I love that for you. If you needed more from it, definitely go down into desired state description. Another heart chakra one. So it's an 86% relevant out of 100. It's sitting at a 3, so it may be a bit lower in that into the subconscious. It's a C again. So lots of emotional charges needing release in the heart there. So looking at ways to balance, like, you know, breath work. Element of the heart is air, so breath work's amazing. There's so much you can do at the heart. Present state. The person is feeling a lack of acceptance. This could be from self or others. I always like to start my readings when it's present state description with, is this relevant to self or is this external to others? We should always be reflecting inwards first to see if it's about us before we are then thinking, oh, that's my husband, or that's my child, or that's my workmate, whatever. Is it something within me? So this could be, you know, feeling acceptance of the self, could also be outwards. Present state description. The heart chakra is shining in the throat. Ooh. Again, so heart chakra energy, but it's something that needs to be expressed. It's, you know, coming out and feeling acceptance by speaking her truth, which was from a previous reading as well. Desired state affirmation. I feel accepted and loved. Now, if you say that to yourself and it's the reading's about you and you're saying that affirmation and you're like, ooh, and you go into contraction or resistance, really difficult, definitely explore it more, chat to, you know, a mentor, go into your coaching app, play with it. If it's something that you're like, when you read it, you know, make that your affirmation or your mantra for the week, because it's going to only open that particular center more. Anything else on that one, Petra? Oh, good to go. All right, throat chakra. So this one's an 85% out of 100, 7, so it's sitting higher in the consciousness. LM, belief system, pattern of behavior, something like that. Present state. The person is well balanced and presents a picture of harmony. Oh, I love this. They are living their expression, their individuality, the gift to this world, their uniqueness. The person communicates with words and gestures. Oh, what a reading. We like getting this one. All right, so this is all about really feeling open through the throat, knowing that from previous readings we've just had in this scan is you are ready to speak your truth. It's turquoise, it's ready to move, you're ready to open, you're ready to speak. This is just confirming it. And in the desired state here, it just anchors in and confirms what you've just read in your present state, because it's the same thing. It's a beautiful reading to get. Okay, heart chakra. 85% relevant. It's sitting at a 3, so a bit lower in the subconscious, perhaps, and a D. Remember, D is deeply in the heart, this energy is. So let's have a look. The person always has the feeling of having to choose between 2 equivalent choices. They do not see that both may be coexisting. Oh, isn't that life at the moment? Like you're being presented with choice. The beautiful thing is we all have choice. So that's a great reading as well, I feel, because it's like opening you up to, I do have choice. My heart is open. All right. So it's a heart chakra energy, obviously, but it's from the crown. So connection to higher self, connection to universal consciousness, realizing that we are all one and connected. Desired state. Affirmation. I recognize where things can coexist and where I can have both of them at the same time. Petra, can you explain that one in your interpretation a little bit more as you see that?
I would say I feel there's a, how do you say that? There's a conflict. There's an inner conflict within the heart, right? So when we are presented with two different choices in life, right, we normally tend to go with our ego mind, right? Choosing and analyzing and doing a pros and cons, right? And before we choose a choice. This is actually, to me, this is actually inviting us to actually listen to our heart. And the way I see it, it's so the root cause, or the root energy that's stuck, that's influencing the heart and the strength of the heart chakra, lies in the root and the crown. So these are 2 opposites. Yeah. So one is the safety and security in the body, and the other one is connection to ourselves and action. Yeah. So which is the masculine energy. So action needs to be taken when we decide on something, and we need to feel secure and safe within our body enough to actually trust ourselves in order to take action. And that's what I call inspired action, because we sit in the heart instead of the head, and we actually trusting our intuition. So that means that, to me, I would say, and I used to get this when I'm in a conflict, and I'm a Libra, and I completely understand that that happens to me majority of time. So this is completely normal. We're all humans, right? There's no good or bad in energetic field. It's just is, right? And how we take that to actually use the information to transform it. When I get this up on my scans, what I tend to do is I actually go into breath work. I start breathing, and I actually start expanding my auric field through my heart. So what that does, it calms my nervous system. So it gets me out of my head into my body. I expand my heart, so meaning I actually expand my energetic field, meaning I get more information in. So if I get more information in, I can make a better informed decision. So I start trusting my intuition, and I actually start moving the energy. And when I do that, the information and the decision always comes.
I knew you'd have a fantastic depth around that. Thank you, Petra. You always explain things so well. The last one here that we've got for our example tonight is a throat chakra, 80% relevant out of 100. It's an 8, so it's quite higher, it might be in the conscious mind. And there's that C again, so an emotional charge not released back in the throat. All right, let's have a look. Present state. The person cannot accept the messages from the outside because they think they know better. This prevents them from perceiving the outside as a mirror of themselves. So for me, this is not always as harsh as it reads to you. It's just about the ego sometimes steps in and takes charge, right? So this is about utilizing messages that are coming in, actually listening with open ears. The throat chakra isn't just about speaking your truth and talking. It's also about listening, and it's not always listening to others. Remember, we look at ourselves first. So it's listening to ourselves, our own inner wisdom, our own sort of guidance, as well as listening to others. So let's read on a little bit further to see if we can find out a bit more for Uma. Present state, the throat is shining in the forehead chakra, inner wisdom. So it is about inner wisdom and listening to intuition, with maybe discernment of what's going on in the external as well. Like, is this for me or is this for someone else, before sort of responding. Desired state affirmation. I accept the messages of my surroundings and use them constructively for my own self-reflection. Beautiful. We know that the external environment is a reflection of ourselves. So it's really great to sometimes just pause and think, what does that mean? Is that for me or is that for them? Is that mine or is that theirs? So it's really a great point of self-reflection. Sometimes the ego just wants to jump in and go, bah. But we, as we grow this beautiful, deep awareness about ourselves and we do more scans and we learn more things, we get to go, excuse me, ego, take the back seat. I've got this. And we can explore that a bit more for ourselves. So Petra, you can talk more into that one as well if you want. But the beautiful thing is now you can vibrate, and Petra will talk more into timings around that, because that's her subject matter expert area. I'm going to give you 6 minutes, Uma, while we chat. You're going to be having some frequency while we chat. So please do stay hydrated.
Thank you, beautiful Katie. Would you like to add on this? Do you resonate? Do you feel that this is something that you can see, certain things you can see in your life, or there's something that you might not see yet in your physical life?
I think that was spot on. Everything I can see in my life at the moment. That was really cool. Thank you.
Welcome. I was seeing you in there as well. I was literally just seeing the pictures coming in through when I was reading.
I love it so much. Energy never lies. I am addicted to these aura scans. I literally do scans, probably 4 or 5 for people all over the world every day. And I have probably once had someone say to me, oh, that really doesn't resonate. And so I asked questions then. I'm like, oh, thank you for sharing that with me. Like, so which one in particular? Why do you feel that didn't resonate? We actually figured out she was in quite a tumultuous sort of relationship with someone, and she was actually carrying a lot of what her partner was going through. They were a bit enmeshed, so when we spoke into it, she was actually able to release a lot of the stuff she was carrying for her partner back to him, so that she could then process and work on her own energy. So I love it. I just love it.
I love that too. And before I go into timings, we had those in the previous session, but I will add that because that was a question as well. What I love about this, and for those of you who know me, I have been living in this world of energy since I was 7 years old, and I've been reading all of these energies through my own body and through my own eyes, right? And when Healy came into my life, I was like, oh my God, is this going to take away who I am? But then I realized it's not taking anything away. It's complementing me, because I'm also human. I'm here to experience my own journey. So my life and my emotions can sometimes cloud my vision, of seeing into myself. And Healy is a beautiful, beautiful tool that actually allows me to look at myself in layers, deeper and deeper, and actually accept all of me. Why am I saying this? Because the more you're going to actually do the scans, the more you're going to dive deep into who you truly are, the more you're going to learn how to set boundaries, the stronger your auric field or energetic field will be. less triggers you will have in your life and in your relationships, more compassion you will develop for yourself and others. And what I love the most is if something happens in my life and I have a trigger, I can actually scan myself and see where in the field it is. This happened to me today, yeah? At work, I got triggered about something and I was like, wow. I literally stopped and I was like, whoa, that's a really old trigger. And I was like, wow. So I want to know where exactly that was sitting because I did not expect that. So I went home and I literally, before I went home in the car, I scanned myself. I did my aura scan and it came up. And the first one that came up was parents, not karmic, but parents. And I looked at the description. And I was like, it was connected completely to safety and it was connected directly to my mother's side, to the feminine side. And I was like, so obvious because now I understand how to read myself in my field. And I didn't take it as, oh, it's their fault. They triggered me. They did this to me, right? But because I understand anything that happens in my real life and environment, it's just a reflection of the frequency I already have in the field around me. And whatever happens in front of me, in front of my eyes, it's actually inviting me to transform this energy because it's not serving me anymore. If it came onto the physical level, that means it's ready to be released. If it's in the field, it's not ready to be released yet. So as you've seen, the higher numbers, so I've seen the question before we go into that. So the higher numbers you have, so the higher the number, the intensity, so 1 to 10, right? You will observe. So if you actually scan yourself regularly and you start shifting your patterns, you will start seeing the numbers that are actually lower, 1, 2, 3, right? Or 4. More you're going to actually work on them, the numbers will start changing. You will go from 1 to 3 to 7, 8. Yeah, because you are bringing it to awareness. So what it means is just closer to 10 means you are bringing it more to your physical awareness. So you can actually look at it on a physical level. Yeah, the lower the number, the less you are actually aware of the pattern or the situation or where it's sitting in the field or where it's actually coming from. And even if it says parents or grandparents, and we're going to look at the cheat sheet, but you sometimes, if the intensity is low, like it's 3, you might not really have enough dots to connect. Where does this pattern come from? You can say, oh, maybe it's from my parents' side, maybe my mother, maybe my father, but I actually can't pinpoint where that it's coming from. But the more you're going to work with that, like Katie said, taking the affirmation and putting it into coaching program or just vibrating your aura scan, it doesn't really matter. Because what you're doing when you're vibrating, you're actually pushing the frequencies out of your field to come into your conscious level. So that means you can actually empower yourself and shift it, right? So timings, as I said before, right? So physical level, you can do longer times, for example, 6, 12, 14, 27 minutes, yeah? Because the physical energy is denser. So you need more power of energy to move the energy through the body, yeah? The closer you get to the energetic part, meaning emotions, coaching, yeah? So those are levels of the aura that are outside of, so above your crown chakra, yeah? So crown chakra or above. So that energy is higher vibrating, so it's thinner. So it's not as thick as the physical energy, meaning that you can have shifts really fast. So if you actually vibrating something that's an emotion or a mental pattern in the coaching program for too long, yeah, you're gonna have an intense burst of reality check, yeah? Because then you're actually gonna have to face all of that you've been pushing out of the field into the physical. So if you are living your life and working at the same time, yeah, I would truly encourage you to take baby steps, right? Not more than 6 minutes. Check in with your body. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just check in with your body. Ask, body, what feels good right now? 37 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. What is it that's an optimal thing right now for us? And then you try, yeah? Try it out and see what happens in the body and how you feel it. This is how you're going to learn how to trust yourself, yeah? Okay, anything else? Let me pop the cheat sheet so you can go through it. And then we're going to go to the questions. Ooh, okay. Okay, is everybody seeing the cheat sheet?
I love this, and I actually developed this for the Healy conferences. Can you see it? I can see it.
Okay.
You
I'm
good?
just looking at where, yeah, I lost people. That's what I'm looking at.
We actually developed this for Healy conferences because can we zoom in to just the text? Are you able to do that, Petra?
Yeah.
Because so many people are asking, what do all the little numbers mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? So this is just the basics of it, and it's so great to have. And we will drop this in where the recordings are when they get put up, so that you can all access this. All right, so obviously, as we described throughout, the percentage, that one's pretty easy to understand, the relevance of it within your life right now, present state. 1 to 10, as Healy showed us, is the level of effort to transmute and release this energy. And remember, we said, like, if it's higher, it's more probably in the conscious mind than if it's lower, it may be sitting down in that subconscious. So this one here, LM, mental and spiritual based on a belief system, so or patterns of behavior that you might be stuck in or replaying within your life. C, emotional, so an emotional charge not expressed. These ones are my favorite C, right? Because you just need to move the physical body and do things to balance in the body to shift it out. D, so it's in the physical, it's well anchored, and perhaps has been repressed for quite some time. This D often shows up when it comes from a parental energy or grandparents showing up in the physical body. There we go. 1E6 is karmic. So for me, I like to think of this one as this is something I've come here to learn or here on Earth School in this lifetime. And this is something that comes up. I scan my children a lot. I love doing aura scans on my children because they, don't always communicate. So it's great to do the aura scans to see what's going on for them, because then I know what I need to do to perhaps balance their energy, or, what I'm perhaps passing down to them that I can work on or having a conversation with them, right? So there, we've got 1E12 parents, 1E24 grandparents. I love when these ones come up because I'm like, wow, okay, I'm going to reflect back to my childhood and see, or even now within my relationship with my parents or grandparents, where is this still playing out? It's really cool to explore. I love it. 1E36 is your ancestral. I love this one too, because I'm like, ooh, this is exciting to explore. And also, if you work with time waver practitioners, Petra has as well, there's amazing ancestral programs you can do to really deepen through this experience. And then these numbers here at the bottom, Petra can probably explain them a whole lot better than me. I don't tend to dive into them at my level of knowledge, but these are further explorations of how far into our subtle energy field this energy was when it was picked up in the scan. So these are homeopathic dilution rates. And this shows how far. Healy's amazing. Like, it can go so deep into the subconscious and into the body, that deep. Look at that bottom one, right? Incoherence in a life theme. Like, it's showing us stuff, probably even sometimes in utero, that's coming through. If you ever play with time waver, it goes back even before you were born. Oh, blows my mind. Scroll down, please, Petra, or unless you want to talk into that a bit more. No, all good. Now, this is the fun one, right? We didn't really get to chat too much into this as we were doing the example aura scan, but this is something you can play with when you get your hands on this scan. So if it's the same chakra color, so it's a root chakra shining in the color red, perhaps as an example of wording, it's harmonized and it's doing great. You're a delight to this world. You're doing really well. Keep going, following your path. If it's partially the same chakra color, the harmonization is in progress. So we've nearly reached the stage above there. If it's showing up as another chakra color, which was what we sort of spoke into throughout the scan, it's the say it's a root chakra, but it's shining in the color blue or the throat. It's a root chakra energy, but it has originated from the throat. Everyone get that? So that one's cool because it shows you where the energy is presenting, present state, but where it perhaps started. Usually things that go on in throat or higher ones originate at the root, or family, safety, security, survival, tribe, my health, things like that. All right, turquoise is always great to get because this means it's ready for harmonization. We're doing really well. Keep following the path, keep doing the inner work. Black's a little bit like, this is when you may be repressing things, you're leaning back, you're going into contraction, you're blocking out like whole themes of chakras. So if you're coming up as black in your solar plexus, it might mean that you're not stepping into your power, you're not, making choices, your boundaries perhaps need a little bit of work, things like that. At each of the chakras, different things will come up. White is avoiding. So that there's things happening in that particular area. So let's go quickly up the chakras with a bit of avoidance, right? So root chakra, you might be avoiding sitting with perhaps patterns that have come up in your childhood that you can move through. In your sacral, you might be avoiding connecting with your emotions. In your solar plexus, you might be avoiding setting boundaries because you just give to everyone because you need to feel loved or that you're being of service to others. In the heart, you might be avoiding opening up. You might be closing down as a protective mechanism. Grief is the demon of the heart chakra, so it might be something that you can help, but you're avoiding it because it hurts. Throat, you might be avoiding speaking your truth because you're worried about judgment from others. Third eye, you might be avoiding listening to your inner wisdom because perhaps in the past you've been criticized or judged for decisions that you've made. And if you're avoiding things in the crown chakra, it might be avoidance of feeling at one with everything, feeling connected with everything because it's just too much for you right now because there's a lot down in those lower chakras that you need to work on. So I love the colors in these scans because the colors really give you, just another layer of depth that you can extrapolate information from in order to get all the info you need to do the inner work. Please drop questions into the comments. I love questions. Or even just, I would love also into the comments before you go is share your main takeaway from what we've already shared with you today. Let's have a look at the questions.
Before we go into question, I just want to share something. I've popped a link. So this cheat sheet will go through the email with the recordings. Yeah. So if you're not in our group, Freedom Frequency Quanta Community, you can tag me, message me, and we can add you to the group. This cheat sheet is in our group as well, so you can actually access it. What I would like to do before we actually go to questions is everybody seeing my, oh no, you need to stop sharing and then share again. Okay. I wanted to share a guide that Katie created, and it's amazing. So everybody's seeing the ebook Chakra Balancing Activities. Katie, do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So this is a guide. I've popped a link into the chat. So if you go into the chat, pop your details in. It will be sent directly to your email. And Katie put all of this together, every single chakra, all the journaling, and you can, the exercises you can actually do to move the energy through the chakras. And you can journal on the what are those affirmations? You can journal on affirmations in the scans that are coming up. Yeah. So just letting you know that this is in the chats. In the chat for you. Yeah. Now let's move on to the questions so we can actually go through whatever needs to be done and then finish for tonight, because I know it's a lot, because this is a huge module and it's so much to take in. So, you're more than welcome to go through this again, take a deep breath in and do the recording again, and then practice. The more you practice in action, the more you're going to learn. Yeah. Okay, let's go through up, using it weekly. Perfect. Redo the same scan for a week or two. Okay, so everybody has a different approach. Katie likes to scan every single day and vibrate every single day. I love to that she's just addicted to that. And that's her, right? That's what she loves and what works for her. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no good or bad or wrong or right. For me, I prefer to actually work with frequencies on a deeper level, consistency, long term. Yeah, as I've talked about in my previous trainings, I do the scan, an aura scan, for example, today, and I will vibrate what I've done today in the car. I will vibrate that for the next 3 to 4 weeks. If I feel in between that I've actually shifted, yeah, I will stop and I do another scan. But that also means that you need to be in tune with yourself to understand yourself and where your energy is at. Yeah. Otherwise, just follow 4 weeks, see what's coming up, and do another routine. Okay, Megan, intensity parameter. So if our focus was being slim and fit and we are not taking action or motivated to eat well, exercise, then a low intensity may show up. Not necessarily. Yeah. So there's different, my perception, and Katie can talk into that as well. Depending, right? So either are you avoiding it and you know you need to do the action? Yeah. So that's gonna show up a different way in aura scan. It can come up as a high intensity, so you're aware of it, so it's in your conscious mind, but you're not doing any action, so you're avoiding the energetic center. Yeah. Or if you're not aware what you need to do, the intensity will be lower, so it's not in your conscious awareness. So you kind of need to start doing something to move things around. Yeah. Does that answer the question? Katie, do you want to add on this any?
I added in written way, but you've described it really well. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see that.
So I can see that the desired state affirmations that Healy gifts you are worded so well that they're already like it's already happened. So any intention that you do set for yourself, if you're going to have a goal that's related to health or fitness or anything, is like it's already happened. So I feel so amazing and vibrant now. I am 80 kilos, whatever it is. Be really specific and have it as like an end state goal. That's what we do when we drop our intentions into coaching app, but Healy gifts them to you if you're going deeper, exploring the aura analysis as well.
Yeah. So regarding the code CD, can you give an example of wrong and doing? So this cheat sheet, Jutika, does that cheat sheet answer your question, or do you have anything else to add on that? Okay. If she will, we'll come back. You are so passionate, and listening to you brings up my excitement of using Healy scans. Oh yes, thank you. I want this. This is what I want. I want you to be excited. Like I want you to be excited of using this. This little thing is, I got here. It's such an amazing tool. Like imagine that years back we didn't have the insight. You needed to trust a shaman because they had an insight and you didn't. Now you're empowered. Like imagine what you can do if you just choose to do it. Yeah, I love this. Muscle testing, yeah, if you do the muscle test, that's also great. Please send me the details in my email. So Shital, the emails will go out through Healy Corporate. So we don't take emails here. So if you receive APAC emails from Healy Corporate for promotions, freedom, frequency and friends, things like that, like a newsletter, yeah, all the recordings of the previous month and now with the cheat sheet will go out at the end of this month and the end of November. Yeah, so you will receive everything in one email in there. So if you opt into those newsletters, you will receive that through that email. Yeah, if you want to join our group, Freedom Rich Frequency, just if you're on Facebook, that's on Facebook, please tag me in the Facebook Healy group, the official group, and I'll send you a message with the link. Please also add me to the group. Okay, so Shital, if you're on Facebook, please find me in the group and message me so I can send you the link. Very interesting. Thank you so much for all your help. It's so much information, which is great. Awesome. We want this. Yes, please. I'd love that one. Leanne, what you mean by that? I don't know. Which one? You mean the cheat sheet?
Oh, the chakra balancing book. She's got it.
Okay, cool. So just click on that one and you'll get that one. How do we decide the theme of vibrations? Do you understand that one? Theme of vibrations. What do you mean by that, Chital?
Time, no time. We answered that one.
Yeah. So, oh, the time. Sorry, the time. Sorry, my eyes are not working.
What a great comment that last one is. I am just on top of the world with Healy in my life. I agree.
Yeah, that's me from Dubai. Sorry to just jump in with my voice over there.
That's okay.
Yeah, actually, what I wanted to know is about the aura analysis. When we do it, I also just follow what Petra said. I scan it and I keep it on for 4 weeks. And I wanted to share my experience for the
Please
benefit
do.
of everybody. Yeah. I'm just going to put my video. I don't care. I don't look nice right now.
No, we would love to see you.
Yeah, I'm going to put my video on because I'm just enjoying this training. So I wanted to tell you all that I did my aura analysis about a month ago, I think in October, and it came up that I have the fear of authorities like the police, the lawyers, and they always are manipulative, and I do not trust them at all. And this is exactly perfect for me in my life because it has happened to me and my dad. And it also came up that this is because your father suffered from these authorities and he is no more, you know, and we really faced a huge setback financially because of this.
Oh, wow.
And I was showing it to my daughter and she was zapped. She's telling, "You're kidding me." I said, "No, really, this has happened." So I decided to give aura vibrations, the 1 minute 20 seconds one. So I get up in the morning and I do it like 3 times because I saw Petra's training last time, and you did say that 1 minute 20 seconds is like chronic and you can do it 3 times. So I did that, and surprisingly, when I did on the 1st of November, it still came up about the authorities, but it changed, it shifted. It says that you are very receptive and, you're accepting that these authorities are for your good, and
This is amazing.
and this is one thing which I want to really share with everybody, that definitely the energy is shifting and I totally believe in it 100%. Okay. And today, with all the trainings that I'm getting from Healy World, I am able to scan people's aura online because I have, people who are joining our team from all over the world and need to give them the correct info. So thank you very much. Great work. And I would like to be part of this group. Yeah. So yeah,
Of course. Just thank you, Chital, for sharing this. This is what we want, right?
Exactly.
This is what we want to share. Like, this is why we're here as a community. Like,
Yes.
you are an example how in less than a month, like you are able to shift this, and anything that's more deeply into energetic world, we can shift faster. Right?
Yes.
Because it's not deeply into the body. So I love this. I love this. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank
really,
you.
it means huge amount. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions in here that I missed? I see Katie using the Healy without the coil. You can do that. Yes, you can. Currently, Katie only has it linked to, so it's only Bluetooth. As you see, it's Bluetooth beeping. How do you say that? Flashing. So she's connected to her phone because she was doing the scan for for Uma. Yeah, but you can use Healy without the coil. It still has a magnetic field. It is weaker though. So if you want a proper application, I would strongly encourage you to use coil because it's a different application and it's a really gentle and really powerful application. But of course, you can use Healy without the coil as well. It will work, still frequency, but it's a lower intensity. Yeah. How often do you trainings? So these trainings are every Thursday. Yeah. So we're doing Thursday night, 7 p.m. Brisbane time, 5 p.m. Singapore time. I had downloaded the guide. Beautiful. Blows my mind too, babe. Share this. Beautiful. Tonight has been amazing. Great. Thank you. I'm so, so, so grateful and honored for you to actually get the value of this so you can actually start using and implementing into your life. I would love to thank all of you for joining, and I would love to thank first Uma for being brave and opening up her heart and actually being courageous to show her deep self. Like, this is challenging, yeah, and I know it's not easy to be scanned, and it's literally being naked in front of thousands of people, yeah, emotionally naked, yeah, but it feels like you're being naked. So and I just want to say thank you for that. And I just wanted to let you know how honored and proud for you I am, and to see you come so far, honestly. Truly, truly grateful to be a part of this journey with you. And the second thing, I want to thank my beautiful, beautiful friend, Katie, for sharing all your knowledge and everything you do. Like, amazing. I am just inspired by you. And I love co-creating with you, and I love being in the space with you. So whoever wants to join the group, thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for all the questions and everything. But I will be seeing you next Thursday. Have a great night.